New Orleans. Yes, sir.
Famous circle food store. This is part of the 7th ward. That's the famous circle food store.
That's part of the 7th ward?
Yeah, it's the 7th ward.
Oh my God, there you go, bro. There you go, losing me again. Don't go nowhere. Okay. I'm coming around.
He said don't go nowhere because he didn't get the turn.
Wait a minute.
We'll wait for you up here for the circle food store.
All right, hang up. Wait a minute.
All right.
Oh, man. Can I go that way?
Yeah, you can put it on.
Don't do it, Pookie. Yep. Ooh.
The Singer Theater.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, you're right.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Okay, and this is Canal Street. We're approaching Canal Street.
Right. I remember this place when I was here last time.
This is the main drag. You see the street car?
Yep. I see
The
that.
main drag in town right here.
Okay. All right.
Head to the French Quarter.
All right.
Yeah, it's the same.
Look at it. There you go again. This guy, I tell you. Who?
Your clip or your camera.
I know. The thing is not here. There's something going on. dangerous drivers down here in New Orleans, I tell you.
Stewards are living up a lot like Chicago.
Yep. Hello?
I'm gonna make a U-turn. We're gonna go back toward the quarter. I just wanted to show you the St. Charles Avenue, a little bit of the character of the city.
Right. Okay.
This shows a lot of the character of the city right here, this street.
Okay, well, let me get ready to follow you and turn around here. All right. Thank you for
I
using
gotta
your...
get out the street car. I gotta get out the street car way.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Car coming both ways.
I see that. You put me in danger, brother. You don't want me to make it back to Detroit? What's going on with you, bro? Okay, hold up. St. Charles. Come on, Pookie. That might be a damn parade. Way up there, this guy just taking his damn time. All right, gang, what's going on? Shay from the Shay Show, and I did not disappoint. Somebody says, Shay, you haven't been doing any videos as of late. That's because I'm in New Orleans, and by the time you guys see this video, I'll be home. Today is July the 13th. I've been here since July the 8th, I believe, 7th, somewhere around there, and I'll be leaving out this coming Sunday on the 16th. Oh no, I think I'll be leaving on the 17th. So I've been here for a minute. So we get ready to go to the swamp and check out those gators. I know a lot of you love those gators. And I see my nemesis over there. I'm going to fight him later. Occasion encounters. In case you ever come down to New Orleans, they want to check this place out. Huh? Oh, I know. Used to be those funny little birds out here. I don't see them no more.
He said attacked and all of them came.
That's funny.
They all came up.
That's funny.
Let's see if they might still be on. I don't know why I'm playing. What time we got to roll?
We're going to check in 2 o'clock. So.
Okay, it's 1:44. I just wanted to make sure.
Decent trip so far. Daryl came down with his wife and one of his friends that he went to high school with. You might hear me and her arguing later, and we always been doing that with Daryl's friend. We've been doing that for years. She said she didn't have nothing to do, and she decided to come along with Daryl and his wife for the trip and help Daryl drive. Then I found out that she didn't even drive at all. I said, Daryl, why you let her drive? I'm used to driving 15 and 16 hours by myself. I'm used to that. Look at the gate. There's a gator right there. Look. See? He's moving real slow. There's one over there. But you can clearly see that one. There's one there. Wait a minute. You can clearly see him, though. Look at him. You can clearly see him. Come here, Pookie. You call me Pookie. Come over there and bite your ass. When we get on the boat, which will be shortly, you guys gonna really see some swamp. So stay tuned. Okay, well, go ahead. Please do not touch the glass. Yes, you did.
Oh, that's a wall.
Excuse me. Excuse me?
We can check y'all in now. Are y'all ready to get checked
Yeah,
in?
yes.
What's that last name?
Woods. There's 5 of us.
Yes, under the pavilion. I'll tell you where to go.
Wow. Right.
They don't bite, they don't sting or nothing.
I thought it was a big grasshopper.
Yeah, they have
Hey,
more.
okay, well, I got you, man. I got you.
He said, I understand. That's all it is, like a grasshopper. Yeah.
Yeah, I see one of them damn things in Detroit. We don't think we're in Jurassic Park, bro. Shit.
There you go.
Get scared of them dragonflies. They want to jump out the boat with the dragonflies.
Right.
Alright guys. Well, we're gonna have fun back here. So my name's Scott. So glad to have you guys out here today. We got a couple of safety things we need to go through real quick. First thing is our life jackets and the seats that y'all sitting on. They're accessible there by your feet. They got a little door there. We got our throw ring right here. We have a fire extinguisher here by my feet. No smoking on board. No standing or while we stand or anything like that while we going. The front of the boat's called the bow. No getting on the front, sitting or standing up on the bow. We're just looking to really have a good time. So if we would happen to see something on the right, if you guys on the right could stay seated, you guys on the left, y'all can look over their shoulder or stand if the boat's not really moving to see whatever it might be. And vice versa, if it's on the left side, if you guys on the left can stay seated, you guys on the right can look over their shoulder or stand, say if the boat's hardly moving or whatever, no telling what it might be that we'd see. And say there's stuff all around. Some things we can make the boat go real close, both sides, and check it out. And other things we might see just for a split second. You just don't know. So we're gonna travel down the river at this moment. We're in brackish water, which is a mixture of fresh and salt. This river we're in is actually the West Pearl River. It twists and turns about 470 miles up into Mississippi. It runs through Louisiana a really short distance, and that's where we are now in Louisiana. 3 miles to the left of this boat's a little town called Pearlington. Now Pearlington's actually the state line, not Pearlington. 3 miles to the left of this boat is another river like this river here. It's called the East Pearl. This here is the West Pearl. The East Pearl is the state line between Louisiana and Mississippi. Now all this dirt we see coming down here, this orange looking dirt, that's coming from the state of Mississippi. It's known for its red clay. This is all erosion, runoff, whatever you want to call it. And with all that dirt in the water is actually called as sediment. So sediment is floating in the water, which is dirt. And we're going to talk a lot about how all that works and see examples of it. Now there's a couple of turtles on the right. Most all the turtles we're going to see are going to be that same species. That's a red-eared slider. That's the same type turtle you find in your pet stores. We see plenty of them here in this swamp, and that's because nothing really cares to eat them. They are basically full of shells, no meat in a shell hardly. Now this boat on the right, we got one on the right, two on the left. Those are boats, they all called houseboats. Now these houseboats are kind of like a mobile home. You know how you bring a mobile home somewhere, you set it up and it just stays there. You live in it and all, and you don't travel around or anything, it just stays there. Well, that's how these houseboats are. They just stay here. These on the left actually have power to them from the power company. They got a well drilled on land, and they get their water from their well. They used to could drive their cars right up to their houseboats, but that bridge has been out about a year now, and so now they either got to come by boat or walk. Now we're getting ready to go look for a big alligator. We're going alligator hunting. That's what we're doing down on this side in the brackish water. Everybody ready?
Hold on.
Right. on straight like that, we're gonna crash into this land in front of us. Now we're not gonna do that, but that's exactly what that current's doing. That current's coming down the straightaway of that river and crashing into this land in front of us with so much force, it's actually making the trees fall in the water. So as we see those trees falling into the water because the current's digging the dirt out from this side of them, that tells us the river is actually moving to the left. As the left side's moving to the left, the right side's moving to the left also. The right side's actually building land. So the whole river's moving, it stays about the same width, but the whole river's moving to the left right here. The reason why it's building land on the right, because the current's real weak on that side. And all this dirt in the water, it starts settling to the bottom. And the bottom's actually rising to the top. The left side, the current's real strong, and it's digging the dirt out along the banks and keeping all this dirt we see floating in the water moving. It's bringing it to the Gulf. So, the reason why I bring that up is because 3 miles behind us is the state of Mississippi. 300 miles in front of us is the state of Texas. Up to about the capital of Louisiana, which is Baton Rouge, all that land has been built by the Mississippi River over millions of years. The Mississippi River has been bringing the most valuable dirt in the world, in my opinion, down that river and depositing it along the Gulf Coast and actually taking away from the Gulf, building land into the Gulf. It created a lot of cypress swamps and brackish marshes. And so that was a great thing. And then about 150 years ago or so, we decided to put levees down the Mississippi River so we could have ships come up the river to New Orleans. So now we funnel all that real rich nutrient soil and all in water inside of those levees straight into the Gulf of Mexico. We dump it into 5,000 feet of water. We never get it back. So that's a pretty bad thing. The most valuable dirt in the world going down that river straight into the Gulf. We don't get to use it. But what's even worse than that is when we put those levees there, we reverse the process.
Alligator right
Instead of building land like it's been doing for millions of years, when we put the levees, it started taking land away. They guesstimated about 40 years ago that Louisiana is losing about an acre of land every 25 minutes.
Wow.
There's a lot of 25 minutes in 40 years. And this actually started when they put the levees in over 100 years ago. So Louisiana's been losing this land of valuable soil, best soil in the world, coming from up north, and at a rate of an acre every 25 minutes. So we see the results of that. Because like today, we can't see because of these trees right on the side, but we'll see in a minute. To the left of this boat, there used to be cypress swamps like we're going to go venture into in a little while. So 100 miles on the left side of this boat. Today there's 0. We got these little bitty trees right on side the boat. That's why it's meaning where we can't really see. Because that's not cypress swamps that we see here on the side of the boat. That's that stuff growing because there's fresh waters right here along the river. Right behind them there's nothing. It's called brackish marsh, or real rank grass. And so New Orleans, you know, on the left side of this boat, 100 miles was cypress swamp. New Orleans was in that direction, or still is in that direction. New Orleans used to be protected by a radius of cypress swamps all around New Orleans. Today it has 0 basically around it, and for sure 0 on the left side of this boat. And the reason is the salt water has come in and killed all those trees that were there before. And now it's just brackish marsh or water. I see where they at, the water's really shallow. We gotta stay over here. Now we're on this side of the river because we're still riding in all that current.
Wow.
The current is where the water's deep. Where they are, that motor's probably bouncing on the bottom.
Really?
Yep. You think you'd be super deep out there in the middle, but that's not the way it works out here. here. It don't really go anywhere. It's a lot warmer than that water in that river. That river water is rainwater coming from up in North Mississippi, so it's a lot colder than here. We've actually been in the drought around here, and even though we've been in the drought, we've been actually working in high water all winter long. Even this summer, the water's been high because it's raining so much up in North Mississippi. But we're coming in this area here to see a big old alligator. He's about 70, 80 years old. It's about the biggest one we'll see on this tour. And that's why we're coming down here where the water's warmer and where he is. Most of the time we see him. He may not come out, you know, it's all for real here, nothing pretend.
I seen him a couple of years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been here before?
Oh yeah, I've been here before.
Oh,
I think the other guy had a name for him, was Stumpy
this
or
one's
something.
called Alex. This one we're coming to see now.
Okay.
He's gonna probably come out from up in front of the boat. He likes laying up in them lilies up there. And when he hears this boat coming, he usually comes out. So I'm looking for him to see if I see him. Now one way to tell before we even start seeing alligators about how long they are is if you see his head, just his head poking out the water, you look at the distance between his nose and his eyes. You guesstimate that in inches, then you transfer it into feet. So if you're looking at him, it looks like about 6 inches between his nose and his eyes. That means he's about 6 feet.
Yeah.
And if it looks, there he is, he just popped up, came up out them lilies. See him coming?
Yeah, I see.
Now this is big old dude. Everybody's gonna get to see him right on side the boat by you, so don't be, you know, we're gonna put him right by you. And in this case here, if he's on your side of the boat, you can stand up and look over the rail at him, but don't stick your hands or heads over the rail, because this alligator can jump higher than the roof of this boat. The bigger they are, the higher they can jump, and the faster they can. He's coming over here. I think he's coming on the rail.
Let Pookie go over there.
Come on, big guy. Come show us your stuff. Here he comes. Now we're gonna get him right out there where we can see him good. I want y'all to look at how big it is on each side of his head, how wide it is, how big his legs are, how big his teeth are.
Just a matter of...
Which it was about the same as Pearlington, Mississippi. If we look at this house right on side the boat with these yellow stairs, you look just past them, you see another house on top of cement blocks. It's gonna be right here behind y'all. Look, it's gonna be right here. That house on top of those cement blocks. So when Hurricane Katrina came in here, the water was 2 feet over the top of those blocks, basically halfway up the rails of that porch up there. So the people in Pearlington, their houses went completely underwater. They had to go get in the trees. So you figure where you at in the tree if the water's halfway up the rails up there. Then you got to take in consideration 100-something mile-an-hour winds, big waves. People up in the tip top of the trees hanging on for dear life.
Wow.
It wasn't just them. All the critters and all that were on the ground, the roaches and rats and possums, all that had to get up in the trees too. They were all in them trees.
Together.
They said they all were like friends. Nobody was being mean. They were all happy just to be hanging on to that tree. And so people say, well, why didn't they get better prepared or whatever? Well, all day Friday, they never mentioned a word about Katrina coming here. It was on the other side of Florida by Miami, going somewhere else. About 7 o'clock Friday evening, they said, uh-oh, looks like Katrina's headed to the Gulf Coast. Monday morning, it was here. So it gave everybody Saturday and Sunday to get ready. It was chaos. People were running everywhere. All the interstates were pointing in one direction. Nobody was really moving. They were just all trying to go the same way. And so all of a sudden, the storm came in. It went into Mississippi. New Orleans was like, oh boy, we dodged a bullet. You know, it's going into Mississippi. We're on the west side, the best side. Everything's looking good. But just like then, same today, New Orleans were protected by levees. A levee is like a chain. It's only as strong as its weakest link. And so everybody thought everything was good. Next thing you know, they see water coming down the streets. Before they know it, they see it coming in their houses. They're like, what's going on? Next thing they know, it's up to the light switches. They like, oh, we gotta get out this water. So they got up in the attic. That was a bad idea because the water didn't stop at the light switches. It went over their houses too. That's like in Pearlington. Those people went up in them attics and they got trapped in there. They couldn't beat their way through the roof and they ended up drowning. Lots of people drowned inside their attics.
Wow.
So it was a real bad day. And then to think that all that damage in Katrina was only a Category 3. we're gonna kind of switch gears here. We see this boat on the left. We look at that little piece of property with this boat and a nice pretty house and pretty yard and deck furniture and all out there. That's beautiful. Then we see the guys next to him. I call these guys with the pretty furniture and all professionals. I call these next people next to them river rats. They just live out here on the river, just having fun. They don't worry about much, drink beer and fish. And so you look at how these two people live. They totally different opinions on how you keep your yard. Now these guys on the right, his brother just bought that empty lot on the other side of this professional guy, and he's worse than these guys. So it's going to be something to see how all this works out with him in between these river rats.
Wow.
Now these river rats, they actually own this property up here, where this boat is, the one that's sitting on the bottom. Now that's their boat, that's their land. The reason why it can be there, because it's tied to their property. Now they, that boat we see sitting here on the bottom, say that's a houseboat like these other houseboats we saw. But those other houseboats, you bring them one spot and you leave them. You don't move them around at all. They just stay in one place. This was actually a motorhome houseboat. So you could get in that boat, and if there was a waterway, you could drive it. It had engines and everything, kitchen, the whole deal. And so you could drive all around in it, just like you would a motorhome on a highway. But you know how motorhomes that go on a highway, they get old and end up in the junkyard? Well, this one actually, this is a motorhome that goes on the water, and it actually ended up on the bottom. Wow. But ironically enough, it's still afloat. Y'all get it? You see it?
Right.
And it's actually registered to Kentucky. It's a Kentucky registration on the side right there. Now these guys, you see how fast they move, I don't even see them. But they say they're gonna fix this boat one day. That's why it's still there. But when you see how fast they actually move, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Time's going by faster than they expected, I guess. Now this bridge in front of us, it's actually US Highway 90. That was the first highway that went from the East Coast to the West Coast along the Gulf Coast. And sometime later, Interstate 10 took that highway's place. Now, the highway became operational, that bridge became operational in 1933, become unoperational in 2022. Now, the good thing about this highway is to the right of this bridge, about 100 yards to the right, they started building a dam about 1900. And they built this dam all the way to Mississippi, 3 miles to the right of this boat. And then they put the highway on top of it. And when they were building that highway, we had cypress swamps like we're getting ready to go into on the other side of this bridge. They went 100 miles behind this boat. Today there's 0 behind this boat. They all start right on the other side of this highway. And the reason for that is because this highway, or that dam that they put the highway on top of, it eliminates the salt water from getting on the other side. So the salt water hasn't gotten on the other side of this highway, so it's lush, beautiful cypress swamps on this side. Behind us is all brackish marshes. All the cypress swamps and all have been eliminated by the salt water. This highway has kept that from happening on this side. Just by accident. If it wasn't for that highway, this would be brackish marshes also. Now we're actually in fresh water now, and we're actually in the Honey Island Swamp. We were in brackish waters on the other side of the bridge. Now this area here, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the swamp, since we're here in it. Back about 1700, they had a group of Indians come in here. They were known as the Kapisa Indian tribe. They came in here and they were by themselves for about 150 years. One of the first things they noticed was this swamp was full of these big giant trees. These big giant trees were actually virgin ball cypress trees, and they were over 1,000 years old. Now these trees, that was the next thing they got to noticing, was that these big old trees were full of honey and honeybees. The reason that was happening is because the ball cypress tree is rot resistant and insect resistant, but it gets a fungus called peck. The peck attacks the heart of these trees, and over the centuries of it attacking these trees, it hollowed them out on the inside, created a perfect habitat for the honeybees to build their honey hives and all that. There was so much honeybees and honey and all we're gonna be in here a while, if we would happen